Good afternoon, everybody. I know it's been a few days. Um, as we all know, excuses are a dime a dozen. And as a good friend once told me a long time ago, ever since excuses were invented, everybody looks good. um, I am back though. I just, the first day it was raining. Yesterday I was just super busy and I wanted to get out here. Almost at the end of my day and I got stuck in traffic. So like I said, there's always going to be an excuse and setbacks, but always find a way to come back. You should always find a way to come back because consistency is key. Consistency is key to reaching goals. This morning I am a little late. I mean, it is morning for me, but by the time I post this video it's going to be afternoon, so that's why I said good afternoon. But this morning I went to my doctor's appointment. I got my annual done and she seems pretty happy, even though this journey just barely got started. But that's good. That definitely motivates me to continue what I'm doing because clearly it's working. I want you to keep at it. Keep at it because you will see results. The more you stick to things, the faster you will see results. I also this morning ran into one of my old high school friends, and that was a great surprise. I after it's gonna sound horrible, but after I walked out of my doctor's office, I walked into the bagel shop. I was hungry. I don't eat them very often, but anyway, I do believe that a good diet is a balanced diet. So you get all of the good stuff that you love, but you also get a lot of the good stuff for your body. So today, my guilty pleasure was a bagel. And along with the bagel, I ran into one of my old high school friends, and we, had a nice chat there, and it was really great catching up with her. And with that, I would like to talk to you today about relationships. Relationships are essential. They're essential in our lives. They help us connect to people, and right now with quarantining and even though things are starting to open back up, people have lost some touch, have lost touch with a few people, that maybe they were always with, or crowds. For example, in my case, I go to a dance studio, and I tip before COVID. I mean, that was my thing. I was always at the dance studio, and we were going to socials, and we were going to practices because they had like student performances and stuff twice a year, and that was my exercise, and it was also my social interaction, and that is where I established friendships, and those were important, and we lost all of that when COVID hit. And I know that all of the dancers there felt it. They all felt it in one way or another, but mostly people were like, I miss dancing. And I went back to classes at one point and I was dying. I couldn't do it because we lost it. I mean, in the few, the months, the year that we were off, we lost a lot of the stamina. And we were there a lot. We used to dance a lot. We used to do a lot. And we lost a lot of the stamina, which, just needs to be rebuilt. But it just goes to show how consistency is key. And I was talking about that with my friend this morning, and how much was lost, and the relationships that we form, even in a social setting like that, they're a key to keeping us having a fulfilled life. Relationships are difficult. So many people have mother issues, sibling issues, daddy issues. There's just so many things that come But I do believe that we are born into the family we are born into because we have things to learn from each other. And I know, my mother and I were opposites in so many ways. In other ways, we're similar, but in so many ways, we're opposites. And there's things that I need to learn through her. Maybe not necessarily from her, but through her. And that relationship has a purpose. I know some people, um, don't talk to their parents or their siblings or whatever the case may be, and that may happen from time to time. But there is some lesson there to be learned. I mean, it's happened to me. I can speak from experience. But even through the hard times and through the bad times or difficult times, I have learned a lot. And whether the relationships can be saved or not, there is still a lesson there to learn, maybe for future relationships, because if you have a controlling parent and later you're going to meet a controlling partner or even a controlling friend, because it doesn't necessarily have to come in partner form. But once we learn our lesson and we learn how to deal with it, we learn how to get through that issue or to simply limit it, because sometimes it's just a thing with boundaries, or there's we need to stand up for ourselves. Whatever the case may be, there is a lesson there to be learned. And we need to learn to stand up for ourselves if that is the case, or we need to learn to have patience. That may be the case as well. There's just so many angles, so many ways that it can be. But the next time you're going through something difficult or an argument or something, I know not right then and there, but at some point later on, take a second and stop and look and think about it. Think about what exactly happened, why, how you may have been able to prevent it, or how you may have been able to approach it differently. Or sometimes we are wrong, and maybe we don't want to admit it to everybody else, but we should at least be able to admit it to ourselves, even if it's just in private. Admit it to yourself alone. You don't have to tell anybody, but learn from it. We really do need to learn so that we can move on and get into better relationships later on in our lives. We can establish better long-lasting relationships, because now you have learned where your boundaries are, what you will and will not accept, or what you have to change or look to change in yourself, because sometimes we do need to change. And that will lead you to having better relationships in your life. And on that note, I'm very tired. I actually did a little more exercise today than I have been doing these past few days, especially the last two. With the exception of Sunday, because my friend that day really worked me out. I'm still feeling those pains, and it's Wednesday. So that was good. But why am I still feeling those pains? Because I haven't gotten back out there, and I wanted to do it today, but I have blood work done, so I don't want to overdo it. Not strength wise. I did walk around more, and I did a lot more stretches and stuff, but I don't want to do any strength because I don't I'm very scared about the blood starting to pop, gush out and stuff. So maybe tomorrow's another day. So on that note, I will wish you all a good day.